Okay, so we're going to start the webinar now. So good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Healthcare Support Worker event for Maidstone Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust. Firstly, we just wanted to inform you that the webinar is recorded, and obviously because it is a webinar, we can't see or hear you. So if you do have any comments or questions, do feel free to pop them in the comments box, and then obviously we will come back to them at the end of the webinar. We're really pleased that everyone can make today's event, and hopefully by the end of the webinar, you will have a thorough understanding of what the healthcare support worker role is in an acute setting, and also have an understanding of what we at MTW can offer you for a career. Just to do some introductions, Francis, if you go to the next slide, please. My name is Liz Parker. I'm the Head of Resourcing for Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust, and I'm just going to go through with you the agenda for today. Next slide, please. Okay, so the first part we're going to cover is just about us as a acute trust in the South East. So a little bit about our trust, what our values are, and obviously what we can offer you as a career in healthcare. Then we will move on to talking about the healthcare support worker role in a bit more detail, give you an introduction to the role and explaining in a bit more detail as to what the role involves on a day-to-day basis. You'll also be hearing from one of our current clinical support workers that works for the trust to give their view, obviously, for the role. We're going to also touch upon some preparing yourselves for how to complete the applications and some hints and tips on interviews as well. A little bit of discussion around our career progression pathways at our trust and obviously what we can offer. And then just lastly, the points around how you can apply for a role, points of contacts at our trust, and then we'll touch upon some questions and answers that we think may come up, and also we'll then go through in the comment section as well. Next slide, please.
Hi, so good afternoon, everyone. My name's Charlotte Warren, and I'm the International Recruitment Advisor for the Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust. So I'm going to go a little bit into our trust now, so what makes us different from other NHS trusts. So we are a really forward-thinking trust. We care, support and value the people who work for us. We're focused on patient care, and we take pride in being a friendly, welcoming place to work. So at Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust, we're committed to the ongoing development of our staff. Each hospital site has an education centre, giving dedicated teaching space to staff. Also at Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust, we recognise that our staff are our most valuable asset, and we provide a wide range of benefits to support them throughout their career. We actively encourage staff to put forward ideas via our Dragon's Den initiative, which is reviewed by the executive teams to help improve our services. So also included on this slide are a few awards and accreditations that we've won and we've been finalists in over the last couple of years. And we also have a short video to share with you now from our Deputy Chief Nurse.
Hi, I'm Judy and I'm delighted to introduce you to Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust. We're a large acute hospital trust in Kent in the southeast of England. The trust provides a full range of general hospital services and some areas of specialist complex care to around 500,000 people living in the south part of West Kent, north part of East Sussex. The trust's core catchment areas are Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells and their surrounding boroughs. And we work with two main clinical sites, Maidstone Hospital and Tunbridge Wells Hospital at Pembury. And Tunbridge Wells Hospital provides single rooms with en-suites for all inpatients, the first of its kind in the country. We also provide specialist cancer services to around 1.8 million people across Kent, Hastings and Rother, from the Kent Oncology Centre, which is located at Maidstone Hospital and at the Kent and Canterbury Hospital in Canterbury. We have two birth centres, one at Maidstone Hospital and one in Crowborough Hospital on the border of East Sussex and West Kent. And we employ over 5,000 full and part-time staff in a huge range of clinical and non-clinical roles across both our hospital sites. Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells is a great place to work and develop your career. And we are proud to be an HSJ Top 100 employer, a Stonewall partner, and we have positive staff survey results. So what can I tell you about your professional development? Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust is committed to the ongoing development of its staff. Each site has an education centre giving dedicated teaching space to staff. You can also support your learning by accessing the libraries situated in both centres, which have a suite of computers which can be accessed around the clock. We have a professional standards team who will support a preceptorship programme for newly qualified nurses. And as a nurse, a midwife, an ODP, therapist, radiographer or biomedical scientist, we can use our contacts with our local universities, Canterbury, Christchurch, Greenwich and the University of Brighton, to support your ongoing continuing professional development. And this can be anything from a study day, a module, a degree or a master's course. And we also have ongoing programs in the Foundations of Acute Medical Nursing, Foundations of Emergency Care, and Foundations of Nursing the Critically Ill, which are delivered in-house by our own clinical staff and accredited by the University of Greenwich. You can expect to have an annual appraisal with a plan of personal development and access to education teams to support you with advice and guidance about your developmental needs. Each education centre contains a clinical skills lab and sophisticated equipment such as SIM-MEN, enabling you to practice your skills in a safe and supervised environment. And with all of these combined activity, the Trust has received a positive response in the annual staff survey, which put us in the top 20% of acute trusts nationally for providing learning and development opportunities. So how do we look after our staff? And we recognise that our staff are our most valuable asset, and we provide a range of benefits to support them throughout their careers. The Trust has been awarded a practice statement for the Improving Working Life Standard, and this means that all our staff are entitled to work in an organisation that is investing in more flexible, supportive and family-friendly working arrangements to improve diversity and develop staff skills to improve patient services. We actively encourage staff to put forward ideas for change to improve our services, and all their suggestions are considered. Some benefits for MTW staff include the NHS pension scheme, a flexible working policy, training and career development policy, occupational sickness benefit, childcare vouchers, reduced rates at the Busy Bees nursery on site in Maidstone, a leased car scheme for eligible staff, occupational health service, on-site canteens, a staff counselling service, cycling to work scheme. Every year we have a flu vaccination scheme. We offer health and wellbeing checks, free inter-site travel, a free staff shuttle bus between Tunbridge Station and Tunbridge Wells Hospital. I really hope that you will take the opportunity to consider working with us, and I'd very much appreciate it if any of you would like to find out more. Please call our recruitment team. Thank you.
Okay, so at Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust, we are committed to our core trust values. This is something that all of our employees live and breathe, and we embed into our culture. Our values are pride, and they stand for patient first. We put our patients at the heart of what we do. Respect, we respect our value and value our patients, visitors and our staff. Innovation, we are innovative and take every opportunity to improve our services. Delivery, we aim to deliver high standards of quality and efficiency in everything we do. Excellence, we take every opportunity to enhance our reputation. So our Trust strategic plan is to employ exceptional people to provide outstanding care.
Okay, so we're just going to touch upon the staff benefits and the wellbeing that obviously we provide to all of our staff that work for our trust. So obviously you can see from the slide here, there's quite a few, and that's just a snippet of what we do cover. The benefits, a few just to point out from here, is that we do offer all of our staff free car parking. We do also offer free food to all of our staff. We do have a 24-hour cafe for free food coming soon, which is good news. We've recently increased our staff bank rates. So we now pay normally for the staff bank sort of the standards that the trust pay at midpoint, but we've now increased ours, so our staff bank rate is paid at the top of each point. And obviously working for the NHS as an organisation is a great place to work. There's really good benefits as a whole. So you also get a really generous maternity package. There's a really good pension package, and also your annual leave entitlement is really good. It starts off at 27 days and can go up to 35 days per year plus bank holidays. Because obviously the staff benefits, wellbeing and engagement from our staff is critical, we do actually have a delegated team that looks after this, and they're always looking to improve this and add to this list. Next slide, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending the webinar. I'm Francis Martinez. I'm the Nurse Recruitment and Retention Lead for the Trust. I am a registered nurse by background. Welcome again. Now that you know about our trust, our achievements, our values, and what we can offer, I will then discuss about the role of the healthcare support worker. So what is a healthcare support worker? We are healthcare support workers. We change lives every single day. These words really sum up what a healthcare support worker is. A healthcare support worker is a vital role that keeps the NHS running smoothly. They are at the very heart of everything that we do. They support patients on their journey back to health, doing everything from providing personal care to helping them feel comfortable and at ease. No 2 days are the same as a healthcare support worker. A HCSW practically works effectively as part of a team. They follow national and trust policies and procedures, develops effective communication skills by communicating with patients, families, colleagues, and other healthcare professionals. They know how to report any concerns, be it a simple change in the patient conditions to raising serious concerns such as abuse or safeguarding issues. They also provide high-quality, compassionate care to individuals, and they directly assist individuals with their fundamental care and mobility needs. In the clinical areas, what do? So they undertake clinical procedures such as taking vital signs, blood glucose or blood sugar monitoring, catheter care procedures, specimen taking or swab taking, and removal of intravenous cannula for those patients not requiring the intravenous fluids or those patients that are for discharge. A HCSW will also be involved in housekeeping tasks by keeping the clinical areas clean and tidy. They also do accurate documentation such as recording of patient observations, fluid balance charts, food charts, and the like. They also contribute to the care of dying and deceased patients. Training is provided from the very start of employment. This is at the induction program. So where do they work? They work in many different clinical areas in our hospitals, such as the general wards, be it a medical or a surgical ward. It could be in the operating theaters. It could also be in our ICUs or oncology wards, endoscopy units, our A&E department, or pediatric and maternity wards. There will be competencies that will need to be completed in all those areas. The next slide will be a video of one of our clinical support workers in hematology department. Trevor will give a short narrative of what his role as a clinical support worker in our hospital. Just a warning that a portion of the video will show an insertion of intravenous cannulas.
I think empathy is the key. We care about the patient and we look to make sure that all their concerns are answered and they feel that they've been cared for. For me, I always do my homework, do research, learn most I can about the disease that they've got so they can understand what they've got and what treatment they're having. And I can put their minds at rest if they're worried or got any questions that needs to be answered, and to support the consultant and what he said, back him up and to say, you're okay, you're fine, we've got a procedure here, you will be looked after. The team that I work in is special because we work together, we keep eye contact, we're on the same level, on the same page. Patients tell us that they love the consultants that I'm working with, and they're always happy that they've come to a place where they've been cared for and they feel that they've been cared for because they tell us.
What matters most in this role is that you have a passion for helping others and enjoy working as part of a passionate team. You will be working in a hands-on fast-paced environment where communication is really vital. With regards to working shift patterns, the usual shift patterns in our wards would be long days and night shifts. Long days will be from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the evening. There will be 1 hour break in total, which is 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the afternoon. During the night shift, which may start from 7:30 in the evening until 7:30 in the morning, would have 1 full hour break. However, these shift patterns may vary in other clinical areas, such as the clinics, which could be from 8 to 4 p.m., or theaters, which could be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and there are also early and late shifts. You may also request for days off. Off-duty requests are made via our electronic health roster system, but there is a limited amount of requests permitted per month. You will need to be flexible on the shifts that you are rostered to work. That is, you will need to be able to work shifts on a weekday, a weekend, or night shifts, and even on bank holidays. So what are the entry routes to healthcare support worker role? In MTW, there are 3 entry routes for HCSWs. This is the chart and the guide as to which path you may be able to take. I will discuss each of the 3 pathways further on my next slides. The first entry route is the trainee clinical support worker role. This is an apprenticeship route, and this is the entry pathway for those who are either new to care or has less than 1 year healthcare experience. The pay band for the trainee CSWs is at Band 2, Annex 21, and the Annex 21 sets out the pay and banding of NHS trainees and apprentices. The entry pay point is at 13,942.6 per year for a full-time apprentice, and this goes up to 14,939 after 5 months. Apprentices are also entitled for 27 days annual leave plus public holidays upon appointment, and after 5 years of service, this will increase into 29 days of annual leave and public holidays, and also after 10 years of service, this will increase up to 33 days annual leave plus public holiday days. Part-time staff receive a pro rata amount of annual leave and public holiday days. So what do the trainee CSWs get from the apprenticeship? They will be earning a salary, receiving a formal qualification, gaining practical skills, and learning job-specific skills. Earning a salary during the apprenticeship, as mentioned from previous slides, if you worked on social hours, such as night shifts, weekends, or bank holidays, there is also a pay enhancement added to that salary. And once the care certificate is completed and competencies are signed off, you can also do some flexible working by doing the bank shifts. You will also be receiving a formal qualification. Within the apprenticeship, you will complete the care certificate within the first 6 months. You will also complete by the end of the apprenticeship a level 2 diploma in care and level 1 functional skills in maths and English. You will also have an attempt to a level 2 functional skills in maths and English. You will also gain practical skills that I mentioned, such as teamwork, communication skills, and providing high quality, compassionate care. And you will also learn job-specific skills, such as clinical skills in vital signs monitoring, specimen taking, and removal of IV cannulas, and housekeeping tasks and documentations. Upon completion of the Level 2 Healthcare Support Worker Apprenticeship, in approximately 13 to 15 months, they will then be job-ready CSWs. The trainee CSW's contract will then be changed to Band 2 Clinical Support Worker with 18,546 per year for a salary for a full-time staff. The second route is the job-ready clinical support worker role. This is the entry pathway for those who have both the healthcare qualification and more than 1 year healthcare experience. These are the job-ready CSWs who have their healthcare qualifications, such as the work-based care certificate or an NVQ2 qualification or higher, and they may have more than 1 year healthcare experience. They are not required to complete a care certificate anymore because they already have a competency-based or work-based healthcare qualification. So the pay band for the job-ready CSWs is band 2. The entry point pay is at 18,546 per year for a full-time clinical support worker. They are also entitled for the 27 days paid annual leave plus public holiday upon appointment, and this would increase after 5 years and 10 years of service. After 2 years, the Band 2 CSW's annual pay will increase to 19,918 per year. The third route that you may be able to take as a healthcare support worker is the healthcare assistant role. This is the entry pathway for those with no healthcare experience, with no healthcare qualification, and more than 1 year healthcare experience. So again, this is the entry pathway for those with no healthcare qualifications and more than 1 year healthcare experience. This substantive HCA role is very new in our trust to welcome those who are experienced healthcare support workers but do not possess a work-based healthcare qualification. They will now be offered a permanent post with the expectation that they would complete the care certificate within the 6 months of employment, which is the probationary period. A failure to complete the care certificate in a reasonable time frame, which is the 6 months, will be managed through our Trust's probationary policy and procedure and may result in the termination of your employment with the Trust. The annual ad hoc salary for the HCAs is 17,422 per year for full-time, as this will meet the national living wage for all ages in the UK. They are also entitled for the same annual leave entitlement and public holidays, the same as the trainee CSWs and the job-ready CSWs. On completion of the care certificate and evidence of full mandatory training compliance, the contract of the HCA will be converted into Band 2 CSW, and they will attract Band 2 bottom pay point of 18,546 per year for a full-time clinical support worker. And again, after 2 years, the Band 2 CSW annual pay will increase to 19,918 per year. Among the 3 routes, if you do not have a work-based healthcare qualification, then a care certificate will be required for you to be completed. This is required for trainee CSWs and healthcare assistants. I will talk briefly about the care certificate. The care certificate is an identified set of standards that health and social care workers adhere to in their working life. This is designed with the non-regulated workforce in mind, including the healthcare support workers. The care certificate gives everyone the confidence so that workers have the same introductory skills, knowledge, and behaviors to provide compassionate, safe, and high-quality care and support. The care certificate was developed jointly by Skills for Health, Health Education England, and Skills for Care. It applies to both health and social care workers. It covers what is required to be caring, giving workers a good basis from which they can further develop their knowledge and skills. These are the 15 care certificate standards. It includes understanding of the role, communication, safeguarding, health and safety, and 11 others. So the care certificate, any healthcare support worker who does not possess a competence-based healthcare qualification will be inducted onto the care certificate during the Clinical Support Worker Induction Program. This is one of the components of the Level 2 and Level 3 Healthcare Support Worker apprenticeships. At the CSW induction, you will be given a care certificate portfolio, and you will have an introductory session so that you know where to start. The time frame for completion is 6 months from start date at MTW, including the completion of Band 2 generic induction competencies 2. MTW has supported HCSWs to complete their care certificates since 2015. Individual motivation is needed to complete the care certificate within the correct time frame. You may be able to complete it within 3 months. Next would be over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you. So now we have got some top tips for your application process. So we're going to get you ready to apply for these positions. So I understand that most of you would have applied for jobs or had interviews in the past, but I thought it would be really, really useful to share with you from somebody that regularly reads application forms and also interviews people on a regular basis, some top tips on what we think will make your application stand out, but also what is going to prepare you for your interview, which will help you perform best on the day. So hospitals can receive hundreds of applications for healthcare support worker jobs. So how can you make sure that you give yourself the best chance to be shortlisted for an interview? So firstly is make sure you read the advert and know what you are applying for. Gaining a good understanding of the role will not only help you complete the application form, but will also help you answer most questions in the best way possible. Secondly, ensure that you answer all questions on the application form. Applications won't be considered if not all questions have been fully completed, and make sure you take your time. Don't rush. Make your information clear and concise. Thirdly, make sure you spell check and proofread. So check your spelling, proofread your applications. Top tips to save your application as a draft, go away, come back to it. So you may think of things that you would like to have put across previously that you might have not previously thought of. Fourthly is the supporting statement. So make sure you go into a lot of detail about why you're applying for this position, what skills, knowledge and experience you feel like you can bring to this role. And this is your time to really shine. So finally, don't copy and paste information, generic information. So you need to demonstrate why you want to work in the area that you're applying for. Copying, pasting duplicate information that isn't relevant is an absolute no-no. If you haven't got any recent experience in healthcare, you can use your life experiences as well, things that you may have done in the past that you can relate to your role. We will consider applications even if you don't have prior experience, because this may be your first step into a career in healthcare. Next slide, please. So next is the top tips for interview. So we're going to get you ready for that interview process now. So make sure that you're being prepared. Throughout the last year, we've had a lot of interviews that have taken place virtually on a variety of different platforms. So you may be asked to attend a virtual interview or an interview in person. So make sure that you prepare yourself for both options. So check your internet connection or the location of your interview. Make sure you're fully prepared and make sure you're not late as well for your interview. Give yourself some breathing space and time to de-stress before your interview. Interviews can be really, really daunting, so ensure that you're in the right headspace to be prepared for this. Secondly, make sure you have a quiet, uninterrupted space for you to complete your interview if you are completing your interview virtually. Thirdly, there is access support through the Indeed webpage, NHS Careers and Royal College of Nursing websites. There are tools out there that can help you prepare for your interview if you are new to the interview process. Fourthly, you will need to be able to explain why you applied for the role, why you would like to be a healthcare support worker, what attributes you feel like you could bring to this role. And also include any relevant experience as well, but don't worry if you don't have any. As I mentioned before, you can relate life experiences instead. Fifth, so make sure you read up on the organisation that you are applying for. Throw in some facts and figures about the NHS Trust that you're applying for, and you could use examples of how many staff they employ, what specialist services that they offer, there are other examples that we could use. Make sure you check out the Trust website as well, as a lot of information will be available to you on there.
When you start your employment with MTW, you will have a lot of support from day one. You will have support from the trust. You will attend a 2-week clinical support worker induction program. Your start date would usually be the first day of the induction program. The 2-week induction program is a combination of face-to-face training days, remote learning days, and 3 supernumerary shifts within your clinical area. At present, we have an induction program for CSWs once monthly. The clinical areas or wards are also high quality learning environments where you could get support from your line manager and colleagues. You will be allocated a nominated registered nurse assessor and a nominated CSW buddy who will guide you through your competencies and transition to your role. We also have the professional standards team, the practice development team, the apprenticeship team, and the library department who can offer support. They will support you throughout your career with us upon completing Band 2 induction competencies and care certificates up to higher roles that you may aspire to become. For trainee CSWs who are new to care, throughout the apprenticeship, MTW will provide protected hours for learning, which form part of the 20% off the job element. This is protected study time. For example, if you are in a trainee CSW apprenticeship for a full-time contract of 37.5 hours per week, 7.5 hours per week will be paid study time for you to work on the off-the-job learning, such as working on completing your level 2 diploma. For trainee CSWs as well, there will be support from the training provider. You will have a nominated assessor and they will support you to achieve the level 2 apprenticeship standards, the level 1 functional skills, maths and English, and to complete the level 2 diploma in care. You will undertake direct observations and regular progress meetings, and they will help you in preparing for the endpoint assessment. MTW is committed to helping our staff develop in their current job and prepare for the career progression that they seek. We provide an excellent range of development activities which are carefully selected to help staff at all levels develop new skills and successful working practices. Some of the open courses that you may be able to take once you have joined us could be assertiveness, courageous conversations, stress management, even the Microsoft Word, Excel, or Microsoft Teams. We even have pre-retirement seminars or pension planning seminars. The next video is a video from BBC Southeast featuring one of our healthcare support workers who started as a trainee CSW. She was just 16 years old when she joined the trust as a trainee CSW in September 2019. 6 months later, she was in the front line working for the NHS in the midst of the pandemic. She was redeployed to a COVID-19 ward to help care for some of our sickest patients. So everyone, I'm proud to present to you this video and showcase to you a member of our MTW family, Lucy Shaw.
Tens of thousands of lives claimed, millions of lives changed. The pandemic has altered the way we live, but for some, those changes have been more dramatic than others. A year ago, 18-year-old Lucy went from assisting on an orthopaedic ward to frontline care for Kent's COVID patients.
I've sort of gone from looking after surgical patients that came in moderately fit and I was now thrown in the deep end, and I was looking after some of the sickest patients we could ever see. Relatives aren't allowed in, so we had to sort of be their family as well, and we'd have to sit with them and comfort them from start to finish. Understanding that not everybody's going to make it out alive, that's definitely been tough.
Now, she hopes to get a degree in nursing.
And as soon as I started, I really just fell in love with the job. I enjoy helping people out, and it's always different each day.
Lucy was 17 when she started working on COVID wards, and not many people of her age have experienced or have seen the things that she has seen. According to Lucy, seeing the Trust's first COVID patient being discharged from our care is something that she will never forget. She loves her job, and according to her, there are going to be tough days, but each day is different. As they say, no 2 days are ever the same. She always wanted to become a nurse, and I'm happy to share that she has started her trainee nursing associate apprenticeship this September 2021, which according to her is going well, and she has lots to learn and lots to get used to. She is on her way towards her dream of becoming a nurse. So with the ongoing support of your team and our training and development teams, you'll be able to take your career anywhere you want, whether that's having more responsibility or even becoming a team leader or a nurse in the future. Further career development could include level 3 apprenticeships, functional skills level 2 in maths and English, nursing associate apprenticeships, and also registered nurse degree apprenticeships, which I will mention further. So your career with MTW, if you are like Lucy, who would like to become a nurse in the future without having to do full-time university studies, the next slides will show how you can progress to nursing within MTW as she started as a trainee CSW. For those who are new to care or has less than 1 year healthcare experience, the trainee CSW apprenticeship will be your entry route. You will complete the level 2 apprenticeship within 15 months. And upon completion of the apprenticeship, you will then be a job-ready CSW, and your contract will be changed to Band 2 Clinical Support Worker. And that will attract the $18,546 per year salary. For those who are experienced healthcare support workers but do not possess a work-based healthcare qualification, your career in MTW will start here as a healthcare assistant. Upon employment to this permanent post, you will be expected to complete the care certificate within the 6 months of employment, which is the probationary period. The annual ad hoc salary for the HCAs is $17,422 per year. That will meet the national living wage for all ages. Within 6 months or less, upon completion of care certificate and evidence of full mandatory training, the contract of the HCA will be converted into Band 2 CSW and would attract the Band 2 bottom pay point of $18,546 per year for a full-time CSW. For those who are experienced healthcare support workers of more than 1 year and who have a work-based healthcare qualification such as the Work-Based Care Certificate or NVQ2 or higher, your career in MTW will start here as a job-ready clinical support worker. The pay band for the CSW is Band 2 entry point of $18,546 and will increase to $19,918 per year after 2 years. Progression from here, you could apply for higher band roles or other apprenticeships. The higher apprenticeship that you may be able to take from the clinical support worker role, you could take a level 3 apprenticeship. The advantage for taking further apprenticeship whilst you are employed in the trust is that you stay on the same salary as what you currently receive, as long as you're staying within the same role. Your current role must relate to the apprenticeship that you wish to undertake. So progression from completion of the level 3 apprenticeship, you could apply for higher band roles, such as a Band 3 Clinical Support Worker post. Please note that completing the Level 3 apprenticeship does not entitle for automatic progression to higher band. However, this will provide you a better chance to get a higher band role. The higher band CSW role is the Senior Clinical Support Worker role. This is on a Band 3 annual salary. As an experienced senior CSW, you will be supporting learners and you will have more responsibilities, such as cannulation, or you could act as a link support worker for specific areas of practice, such as tissue viability, diabetes, infection control, palliative care, and moving and handling. Progression from here, you could apply for higher band roles and other apprenticeships. You could stay up to this role if you would like. Some people would not like to go further studies, such as nursing. However, if you would like to go further, you can take the Nursing Associate Apprenticeship or the Nurse Degree Apprenticeship. As a Band 2 or Band 3 CSW, you can take a further Level 5 apprenticeship as a trainee nursing associate. Within the apprenticeship, you will be studying for the 2-year foundation degree in health and care program at the university. You will be doing clinical shift work and you will also be attending university studies. The annual salary for our TNAs is Band 3 pay point at 20,330 per annum. At present, we are supporting our internal CSWs to take this route. The next slide is the list of the minimum requirements for the trainee nursing associate role. And after successful completion of Level 5 apprenticeship, you will automatically be converted to Band 4. Band 4 nursing associate once you are registered with the NMC as a registered nursing associate. And that would be the annual salary for the NMC registered nursing associate. Progression from here, you could apply for higher band roles or apprenticeships, such as a top-up apprenticeship from nursing associate to nurse degree apprenticeship. The other higher apprenticeship that you can take as a clinical support worker is the nurse degree apprenticeship. As you will be undertaking Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree apprenticeship in either adult or child pathway. The apprenticeship is for 4 years for those who are in Band 2 or 3 posts. However, this will only be 2 years top-up apprenticeship for those who are registered nursing associates. You must be able to commit as a full-time staff within the 37.5 hours contracted hours. You will be doing clinical shift patterns and attendance at university. So 60% would be theory and clinical practice, balanced with 40% working in the clinical area. The annual salary for this, for the RNDAs, would be Band 3 for the first 2 years and Band 4 for the remaining 2 years whilst training. This is currently offered to internal MTW staff. The next few slides would be the requirements for the RNDAs. For adult nursing pathways, we partnered with Canterbury Christ Church University. And for the child nursing pathway, we partnered with Greenwich University. The entry requirements are in line with the current university requirements, so they may be subject for review. And upon completion of the RNDA apprenticeship, you will automatically be converted to Band 5 nurse once you are registered with the NMC as a registered nurse and attract a starting salary of 25,655 per year. Once you have completed your preceptorships in as a Band 5, once you have completed the competencies and your levels of practice has developed, you can then progress to Band 6 role as a junior sister, which will attract that a Band 6 salary or progress to becoming a ward manager. You could also take a master's degree or a postgraduate certificate, and you could also progress to becoming a matron, divisional lead, deputy chief nurse, or a chief nurse. In MTW, there are a lot of opportunities for progression, whether you want to stay within your role or you want to go further up the career ladder. Over to you, Liz.
Thanks, Francis. Okay, so if we can just go to the next slide, if that's okay. So we're coming to near the end of our webinar, so we just wanted to share with you sort of the next steps, really. So you will be receiving a link that will be sent through to your emails, I believe, that will give you direct access to view one of our current vacancies that we have live. So we do encourage you to apply. As Francis has discussed with yourselves, there's 3 different options into healthcare support worker roles within our trust. So obviously, if you could place in your supporting statement out of the 3 roles which one you would be interested in, that would be appreciated. Next slide, please. And then we also have some contact details here as well. So if you had any questions that you think of at a later date or anything you just wanted to run past us, do feel free to get in contact with us. Myself, obviously Liz, Parker and Charlotte, we're within the recruitment team. So anything sort of recruitment related, or if you have any queries with your application, feel free to get in touch. And obviously Francis's details are there for any sort of clinical questions or training questions if they do arise. We're going to move on now to just some questions that we thought we'd cover, just in case they're sort of in your head. And then obviously we'll go across the comment section after before we close. Over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you. So the first question that we decided to prepare that we get asked a lot is, can I apply for this role if I require a sponsorship from the trust? So the answer to this at the moment is no, unfortunately not. Healthcare assistants do not meet the salary threshold to qualify for sponsorship. It may be something that may change in the future, but at the moment, at this stage, they don't qualify for sponsorship. The minimum age requirement for this role is 16, so you can be 16 or over in order to apply for this role. Francis, I think these couple of next questions you'd like to cover.
Yeah, so if you have no previous healthcare experience, yes, you can apply. You may take the route, you would take the route as a trainee clinical support worker apprentice, which is the 13 to 15 months apprenticeship. What support is available to me during the training? When you start your employment with MTW, you will have a lot of support from day one. You will have the support from the trust with a 2-week clinical support worker induction program, and there will be lots of support from the clinical areas as well, like your line managers, colleagues, your nominated registered nurse assessor, and the nominated CSW buddy who will guide you through the competencies. We also have the professional standards team and the practice development team, libraries, learning and development teams, lots of support around. The next question would be, is my care certificate transferable? Yes, the care certificate is designed to be portable. However, employers are expected to ensure that the new staff have retained those competencies required by the care certificate. Within our trust, we will only accept the work-based or competency-based care certificates that are in the Health Education England, Skills for Care, or Skills for Health template. Online care certificates without the practical assessments will not be accepted.
Okay, and then moving over to the chat questions, I can only see one in there so far from Eleanor, who's asking if there's any part-time roles. So yes, we do take on part-time staff, Eleanor, for sure. You can see the hours that are advertised, they'll be in the advert itself. Alternatively, I would suggest for any of the vacancies that you see for clinical support worker or healthcare support worker roles, there's normally a contact number and a name in the advert. So do feel free to contact the recruiting manager directly, because sometimes it might not always state on their part-time, but we definitely do take on part-time staff for sure. So if there's not any other questions, we just wanted to come to the end of our webinar. So hopefully this has provided you with an insight into healthcare and has provided you with all the information to decide if this is a role for you. Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells are currently looking for healthcare support workers to come and join our organisation. And hopefully from hearing from what we have to offer with support, training and experience, you would choose to join our team. So that's all from us. Thank you for attending, everybody, and we hope you have a lovely afternoon. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thanks, everyone.